You must think I'm and sit. You in our bed. He's revving like fuck. Revving to neutral.
Well, you're very welcome to the Lightweight Boxing Show, and this week we're on the road again, and if you can't tell, we're in the city of Liverpool. We're stood in Stanley Park with Anfield behind us, and we're going to hear a bit of chat, I think, today, I'm afraid, about, you know, Champions League finals, FA Cup finals, potential Premier League title and League Cups.
But not the quad.
Anyway, we don't want to talk too much football. Inevitably, it'll be touched upon because we're going to go and see Liam Smith, fresh off his brilliant victory over Jesse Vargas over in the States on that Katie Taylor undercard. And also, we're going to catch up with JJ Metcalf, son of the great Shay Neary. He's got a brilliant opportunity in Bilbao. We're going to talk Scotland as well. Had a Rankin with that brilliant night that we're looking forward to at the Hydro, and plenty more as well. So they're saying the winners here already, but I think we should just concentrate on the winners in the boxing gym. What do you reckon, Anna?
We should do. Things could be a lot rosier after this weekend regarding the football. But yeah, let's head to boxing-wise, the home of the champions in Liverpool. Let's head to Rotunda.
So we'll leave Stanley Park and off we go.
Once we finish, you want to go over?
Well, let's just...
You haven't even started and you're talking about being finished.
Well, as you can see, we are outside the Rotunda, home of champions, amateur and pro. Liam Smith, well, still fresh from that amazing night in New York, and it's only a couple of weeks ago. I mean, have you forgotten about that already and you're moving on, or are you still wallowing in that brilliant victory against Jesse Vargas?
Milk it.
No, there's been a lot going on since where I think, wow, it's not even 2 weeks ago. I mean, I've had 3 games of footy since. No, we've had another good show with the Canelo thing after it, but it does still seem fresh because, you know, everywhere I'm walking, people are still mentioning it, and you know, it's a historic thing fighting at Madison Square Garden, so it is finally starting to sink in now.
That's got to be right up there. I know there wasn't a world title involved, a defence, winning it. That's got to be right up there.
It is, and I think it goes probably up there at the top, to be honest, because if you ask everyone who come with us, all, it was just everyone together. So the week was brilliant, and we've had some top weeks over years, even with yourself, even with, you know, just me brothers. We've had some unbelievable trips through boxing, but that one was just perfect from start to finish. Sometimes we've had top weeks and you go, you know, results aside, we had a laugh, didn't we? Or it was a boss week, but the result, the whole week building up to it was brilliant. I done the weight okay. The fight was a boss fight to watch. I still got the stoppage. Then after the fight, you know, not wrong with the after parties, I don't really have one. I went and seen everybody.
The night before the fight in the Fiddler, I think it's called the Fiddler. It was like Liverpool, it could have been somewhere down there, do you know what I mean?
I know.
Here he is.
And then the Sunday, when the planned one, what I had, I always plan the Sunday. So the Sunday, what we had planned, we were in Carragher's Bar all day. Then this club done an unbelievable thing for us. They let everybody in. They had all pictures of me on this big screen at the club, and they just couldn't do enough for us. And even that night was brilliant. It was just, it couldn't have went any better for me. Honestly, I couldn't.
It was a great bill to be on as well, and you were definitely an Irish scouser that night, weren't you? I mean, with Katie doing what she did as well, it was some night, wasn't it? And did you have a word with Katie afterwards? I mean, did you kind of get the buzz off what she'd just been through as well?
Yeah, I did, and you know, we seen her just before the ring walk. We were on the door of our changes, you know, wishing her luck, and I spoke to her the next day on the phone, and you know, she's just a top, you know, human being, to be fair to her, and that's like, I say she's just done something so historic, and I thought, when I spoke to her on the phone, you know, I congratulated Brian Peters and the whole team really, and then she got on the phone to me, and it was just, I said, you know, thanks for letting me share a part of that night, and everything I was trying, I said, by the way, you've got some, you know, you showed some art there, and she's an animal, and everything I was saying to her, she was just complimenting me back, and instead of just, I thought, you know, she's just lovely that she wouldn't sit there and take a compliment. She was like, I was like, thank you for letting me share the bill, and she's like, no, thank you for being on it, your fight was brilliant, and instead of just taking a compliment, she was just trying to like compliment me back, and I thought she's a top lady, like.
What are you thinking now? What's the plans from here?
Crolla, you've known me a long time now. I'm open to anything. You know what I mean? I'm anything. Put a fight to me. I'll have a think about it. It makes sense to me, mate. Where do I sign?
Yeah.
And when it's look, I'd sign anything even if it didn't make sense. But I'm a little bit long in the tooth now. I'm 33, so when I say if it makes sense to me and my family, then where do I sign? I'll shy away from no fight. I never have.
Yeah.
I never will. And whether it's Castano, Charlo, whether it's the winner of Charlo, Castano, whether it's, you know, any 154 in the world really, I'll take. And then obviously there's been talks of the EUBANK fight, so again, even with that one, where do I sign? I'll step on and fight.
How much fun would
Yeah.
that be, by the way?
Yeah, it would have the Star Wars would be very good, know what I mean?
Forget the fight.
Yeah, and you know, obviously I'm not one for the antics beforehand, so probably would be interesting. But I do think it'll be a tough fight also, Star Wars, and I think that'll be fun to watch.
I was going to say what gets getting mentioned a lot is Tim Tszyu.
Yeah,
You've got no problem going over to Australia.
No, and I never have. And to be fair to them, they did offer me the fight. I'll never say, they never offered me. They offered me the fight, but it just did not make sense. They offered me the fight in 7 weeks. It was 7 weeks to the day they offered me it.
Yeah, notice.
But I had to go to Australia 2 weeks from the day they offered me it, with 5 weeks. And when I got to Australia, I had to quarantine in a house for 2 weeks and train in the house. And I thought, well, Tim Tszyu's a tough fight. It's a world-level fight. I'm not going in and training in the living room of a house. Going into a huge fight. I'm not in a position where I can afford losses now. Oh, you can lose and you can come back, Liam. No, like I said before, I'm 33. So if it doesn't make sense to me, then I'm not taking it. And that was one. And I'll still stand here and tell you that Tim Tszyu fight will happen. I said it. I said it when they offered me it. It'll happen down the line. And you know, I've won 2 fights since then. And I still feel that fight will happen, whether it's for a vacant title. We're yet to see after what happens, you know, with Charlo Castano, but I do think the Tim Tszyu fight will happen.
Just a word about the fight we've just witnessed, because everyone's going to bring it up for you because you've shared the ring with the fella, you've got history there, but Canelo, well, he was outdone by Bivol, wasn't he? I mean, Bivol was too big, too good, and it's light heavy, isn't it? It's a different thing, but did it surprise you, knowing what you know about the man?
You know what surprised me, and I say it on record, that I feel Canelo massively overlooked Bivol, and I feel he's overlooked him in the gym, because I've never seen him gas like that, and it's not even like you could say, he's definitely struggled with weight there, because he hasn't. But I also thought to myself, looking at him at the weigh-in,
I know what you're going to say.
You're not soft, but you're not like...
He was carrying a bit for the first time, wasn't he?
You are not like you usually are now. If he fights Bivol again, fight him at 175, I'd still probably come in at 170 and look a little bit more solid. He always looks solid. He always, you know, he's got that glow about him. He always
for the
looks
first time,
it
looked like he was carrying a little bit of excess, didn't it?
And I thought that crowd at the weigh-in. And I just thought, you're not as solid as you usually look. And now it explains why I thought that, because I feel it showed in his performance. I don't think he's, which is mad because he's the best in the sport, but he hasn't given it as full camp like he usually gives. That's what I thought was noticeable.
But finally from me, this weekend we spoke about what could be next. Charlo's name's been mentioned, Castano. Last time a lot of people thought Castano had done enough.
Yeah, I did,
How do you see it going weekend?
I'm going to go with Castano again, only because I also feel the weight's getting to Charlo now. I don't think he can go with the not really the pace Castano sets, but he throws lots of punches. He's exciting to watch, and when he gets in the pocket, he'll let his hands go. And I just think that it's getting time now. He's a big 154 Charlo. He always has been. You've seen his twin brother go to 160, now talking going to 168. I think
that'd be his opportunity to move
into 160, yeah. And so I feel he does it either way. Charlo, I think he goes to 160 even if he wins, and if he loses. But I edge towards Castano to win it.
Just before you go, a couple of quick fire ones. I know you're at the FA Cup final this weekend.
Yes.
Right. Has the league gone?
Yeah, I do. I think they won the league. But I'd love to see West Ham get something, just so it goes to the last game of the season. We've still got a chance.
FA Cup though?
We win the FA Cup and we win the Champions League, and it's still a good season all round.
It's a kind of treble, isn't it?
It's not the proper treble, but it's a treble.
Do
you know what? If the football gods are aligned, they'll win the Carabao Cup, and that'll be it. Imagine.
No, I just think, from looking at last season to this season, we had the Alisson situation last year and scraped into the Champions League. If we go and win that, and obviously if we win the FA Cup to add to the Carabao Cup, we lose the league by, we'll probably be, a point
don't
or
want to be a
at the
goal
most.
difference. If you lose the league, you lose the league.
You know what I mean?
Now, Liam spoke about Canelo and Bivol, which of course was the main talking point. Again, were you shocked in any way? I suppose you were in some ways because, I mean, you had tipped Canelo to do the business, but... I backed Bivol, by the way.
You did, Dom. That's a great one to
You only
call.
hear about the successes, don't you?
They come few and far between, but hey, a win's a win. But do you know what? No, and I did say, I said, I think it's going to be close on the cards, which it was, but I did think Canelo would get it.
It wasn't, though, was it?
No, it was shocking.
Yeah,
it was Let's not forget, those scorecards was absolutely shocking. Listen, we're thankful the right person, the right fighter got the decision. But, when you look at it, if Bivol wouldn't have won the last round, it would have been a draw. Yeah, and it's scandalous. That was just scandalous, absolutely scandalous. And you think, he won that fight very, very comfortable. And like you say, thankfully, now we're talking about a great performance Matt Bivol put in, and that's what it was. But I think what I was surprised at is just how easy he made it. He looked very, very comfortable in there, and I don't know if they dropped the weight, maybe so, and Canelo might come better prepared next time, because as we mentioned with me and Liam, I did feel like Canelo, he always looks in unbelievable shape. I thought he looked a touch fleshier this time.
Does he need to just stick at 12 stone and just, possibly, that's where he's going to be? And Bivol's already said he'd come down there as well.
He has. It's crazy because I remember we was both there the night that Chisora Parker won, Katie Taylor and Natasha fought. Bivol was stopping a few doors up and he was on the landing every night, sweating it out in sweat gear, making that way. And I thought, there's no way he makes super middle, but he seems very confident he would. But he looked, listen, I believe, why go down to super middle? You've proved you're a great light heavyweight.
Might have to fight Beterbiev.
That's something probably to think about as well. But it's just when you look at it, that's Beterbiev and Bivol. You now say they're 1 and 2. You'd love to see it. But I've always said about Canelo, I believe what beats Canelo is size. And let's not take away from the performance of Bivol, which was fantastic. But I think size did play a huge part in it.
Yeah, should never be forgotten what he's achieved in those lower weights anyway. I mean, and that's been a little bit forgotten.
It's crazy. He's come out of some people's pound for pound list now, which is mad. But hey.
But it is, we will see Canelo, I'm sure, probably Triple G, then Bivol, whatever. We'll see what he does next. But, of course, as we are here in the Rotunda, we want to make the most of our time here in Liverpool. And we have caught up with a fella who's got a great opportunity next week, because you're going to be there, I'm going to be there as well. There's a lot going on, more of that in a minute. But top of the bill is Kermin Leharaga against JJ Metcalf, who's been training right here. Well, here we are in the Rotunda, the home of champions, and a fella that's just gearing up now for a massive challenge next week against Kermin Leharaga in his hometown, Bilbao. And I don't need to tell you, you've done your homework. It's a hostile environment. It's a bit of a football crowd thing going on that he has there in Bilbao, but a brilliant opportunity for you, JJ.
Yeah, massive opportunity. I'm thankful to get this type of opportunity after the couple of fights I've lost. So, I've come back with a good win. I'm in the Rotunda now, training with Joe. And I feel good and I'm ready to go over and win this title.
JJ, that's what I was going to ask, obviously, change of scenery. How are you finding it? And it's a thriving gym that's absolutely bounced at the minute. Good result after good result. How are you finding it with Joe on deck?
No, I'm finding it good, yeah. I've sort of needed a little change.
Freshen things up a little.
Freshen things up, and you know, there was like things weren't working out with time scale with my dad working and all things. He's still there, still gives me guidance and stuff. So I've worked with Joe before, and you know, it's made sense to come back.
You've only lost two good operators in Ted Cheeseman, obviously Kieran Conway, and again, you've got credit for those fights anyway. You know, it's, and again, it is about what you take from these things, isn't it? I mean, what have you learnt from that in terms of what have you tried to implement from those going forward now?
Well, I've learnt a lot from them. You know, for myself, I don't think things went right in both of them fights, like the whole build-up, everything really. So otherwise, I would have called it a day. If I didn't think I was better than that level, I would have called it a day, and I know I am. So, you know, I've changed things up, and I believe I'm going to go over to Bilbao and show that. To be honest, I went over sparring for the Avanasian fight. I was there for a couple of weeks, yeah. So I know him very well. I know him very well, yeah. He's actually a friend of mine, you know what I mean? So it's one of them things. Boxing's the way it is. So you've got to fight friends, but we won't be friends on the night, but straight after we will be.
Yeah, what an opportunity for JJ Metcalf. And he knows it. He's going in there, Bilbao and everything else. But great that he's been in camp with him. So the two lads know each other so well.
It is. I was really surprised at that. And I think I would have loved to have seen some of the sparring sessions. So I think we're really in for a treat on fight night. I call it now. I think it doesn't take a rocket scientist to predict this or to say this. But I genuinely believe it's going to be a fight of the year contender we get.
In Bilbao, really looking forward to that trip as well. You're going to be in the corner with Rhiannon Dixon and James Moorcroft, as we touched upon as well. So, exciting night for you as well.
Really exciting night. It's, I think, and I hope it's the most successful. But yeah, the best night of my young coaching career so far. I couldn't have asked for any more of them in camp. That's more or less wrapped up now. And roll on fight night.
We're both going to have to make a dash north of the border because there's a big night of action in Scotland. Hannah Rankin is topping the Hydro. She's defending those WBA and IBO super welterweight belts against Alejandro Ayala. So a little bit earlier, caught up with Hannah, see how everything's going.
It's been incredible, actually. You know, we've had such an amazing response from the media. Everybody's getting behind the show. Everybody's excited about it. You know, it's kind of... you know, another big show at the Hydro, and normally, you know, there's Ricky Burns, Josh Taylor, these people who've headlined there, and so now it's my turn. And to be honest, I've had such an amazing amount of outpouring of support and excitement, and I think people are excited that it's the first female fight to headline the Hydro, and there's lots of young people, I mean, especially lots of young girls, they're all excited about it, they're coming along, and it's just been fantastic.
And it's you again doing the business north of the border, because you were the first female world champion that Scotland produced. Now it's the first time a female fighter's headlined an event anything like this kind of level. So it is breaking new ground again. Has that been the main kind of focus of what people have been talking to you about in terms of the press and everything else?
Yeah, that and the fact that, you know, it's a whole night of Scottish boxing and a real chance to showcase Scottish talent, which is what I really wanted. When Dennis Hobson and Fights and said to me, look, we're going to organise this, we're going to get you to do your maiden defence and headline the Hydro, I was absolutely ecstatic about it. I wanted to make sure, though, there was opportunity for other Scottish fighters to get a chance to showcase their skills. So we've got a fantastic lineup on the undercard, and I think that's why everyone's buzzing about it. It's just exciting, you know. And boxing is becoming that thing where, you know, you take your kids along to support the boxing, and it's not just like you take them to the football, you take them to the boxing, and lots of young people coming up to us wanting photos and you know, want to be part of it, and lots of young amateur fighters as well, you know, that they want to be we're looking towards world titles at some point in their career too. So it was exciting times, and the buzz has just been great, really, really great.
Just a word about your opponent, because again, she's been in Glasgow for a while now. She's taken it extremely seriously. She got herself, you know, over here in plenty of time to acclimatise and everything else and get used to the surroundings. And I know you've had a lot of kind of co-duties to do together. You must be sick of the sight of her now, so close to the first belt.
Absolutely. To be honest, we've had a lot of stuff to do, and you know, it is what it is. It's just all part of the job, and you know, everybody wants the you know, as much publicity for the fight as possible, because it is going to be an amazing fight. But yeah, I am sick of the sight of her. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I know it's been respectful and everything else, and she's a very good ambassador for the sport as well. She works in boxing in Mexico, but she's come here to rip those belts. Again, you've done your homework. What can we expect on the night? You know she's coming to fight.
Absolutely. And like I've said, Mexico, like Scotland, is a great fighting country. We've produced some fantastic fighters over the years, and we've got a great history of it as well. But as far as I'm concerned, I've got too much for her. It doesn't matter what she brings on the night. She's not taking my belts off me at home in Scotland, in front of my home crowd, in my home city, in my home stadium, somewhere that I want to call my home as a fighter. So, yeah, it doesn't matter what she's bringing. It's not going to be enough.
So is it going to be, I don't know, I mean, a tactical kind of, are you going to have to rein it in a bit? Because the way you're talking now, you're obviously clearly up for this, very excited. But with you headlining, the pressure you put on yourself, the pressure that the nation's putting on you, are you going to have to kind of just keep your head straight in those early rounds?
Absolutely. It's one of those things where I always say to people, pressure is a privilege, and it's how I look at it. I know the whole of Scotland's watching me. I know they want me to keep these belts in Scotland. I know I'm the main event of the night. There's a lot of pressure that comes with that, but it's a privilege, and I'm really excited to get out there and showcase what I can do. If I follow the game plan and do what I've been doing in the gym, I'm going to absolutely smash this fight. So I can't wait for everybody to see that on Friday night.
Massive occasion for Hannah Rankin and for boxing north of the border. It's going to be brilliant as well to see her make that ring walk in just a few hours' time, basically, at the Hydro. But it's huge how it's come on, isn't it? We saw Katie and Serrano, of course, which we've mentioned, but it is a massive opportunity for her, isn't it?
Huge, and defending the world titles there. Great venue. She's going to have great support in there, and it's them, what that does, sort of what I'm looking at as well. There's a lot of talk of her and Natasha Jonas. Both have got to come through fights, and well, Tasha ain't got one scheduled at the minute, but Hannah comes through tonight, which I'm confident she will do. It sets up a potential domestic world title fight. Unification as well.
You're heading north anytime now as well. You've got a very special night ahead of you, so just tell us a little bit about this.
At the Normandy Hotel, just outside of Glasgow. I am playing my part in the father-son bill with the Lemons, the Lemon Show. It's been labelled as. So Will, who's a great lad and one of the best people I've met in boxing. He's coming back
for the British title all those years ago.
I defended the British title against him in Motherwell. Last time out, I'd done his son's corner for his professional debut because his licence hadn't come through in this time. But I'm there now to do both of their corners because, Willa is back in the ring. I think he's 43 years of age. 43 years of age. And his son's on the same bill. So, I'm really looking forward to it for both lads. Honoured to have this responsibility. And so we better get gone. You've chose to go by train rather than by car, but that's your choice.
I think I might be flying if we don't get a move on. But anyway, he's still going, Willie Lemon, 43.
Yep.
You're retired. Another fella that has retired is Kell Brook, of course. And again, if you want to watch a full interview that we have done via The Sportsman with Dominic Ingle, that is on the YouTube channel where you find all the long-form interviews that we've done as well. But Kell, what a career.
Unbelievable career. Just very underappreciated, I feel. And I'm glad he's calling it. Although, like you say, he won the world titles, I think, and Kell said it, his finest night was last time out against the Mayor. He feels like he settled that grudge, and I wouldn't want to see him becoming a bit of a stepping stone because I don't believe there's a world titles. I believe he could compete at a very high level, but what a way to go out and an unbelievable career.
Yep, and good luck in retirement to Kell Brook. So as I say, Dominic Ingle, a long-form interview on the YouTube channel. But of course, we've got to look at the fights that are coming up as well. A few quick previews. Again, a really interesting one, I think, that might have gone under the radar is Tony Yoka against Martin Bakole.
I can't wait for it. And I know Billy Nelson, and for some years now, he's been singing the praises of Martin Bakole, and they're very confident. They're certainly valuing Martin Bakole. Listen, Tony Yoka, Olympic gold medalist. I believe he lost to Joe Joyce in that finals. I know you do, and a lot of others do. But still, listen, unbelievable achievement. He's had a bit of a ban. That he's got to come back from. And against Martin Bakole, he's fighting a legit contender. It's a very risky fight. I believe there's value in Martin Bakole. I believe he's got... I'm going to listen to my pal, Billy Nelson. And, I think there's value definitely in Martin Bakole. But it'll be tough, but... we'll see. I'm looking forward to it.
Talking of comebacks. You talk about Yoka, but Josh Kelly is back in action. Again, it didn't go his way. I suppose that's an understatement against David Evanesian, who we know is just an incredible operator, isn't he, in that welterweight division. But he's back. He's going to be at super welter, I think, for this one. And he says he can fight there. But you can't see any problems for this this weekend, can you, with Josh? No,
I can't. And I think Josh is super talented, and I think, just the ability he's got. And he said he can still do welter, but he was a very, very big welter. I think we might see him move into the super welter division, but he plays a huge part. I know him, and in this very ring behind us, him and Liam Smith have had some fantastic rounds the last few months. So no, it's good to see Josh back.
And of course, stateside, there's a massive fight as well. It's Castaño against Charlo, and again, Castaño very unlucky. Liam alluded to it before as well, because it's a potential one for him to look out for. But just a great fight to look forward to.
Brilliant fight, great fight last time. Wrong decision in a lot of people's eyes. And I said, me, Liam, we both thought Castaño had done enough, and I think just as the weight caught up with Charlo, possibly. And I think if Castaño, again, he's underdog, but I think there's value in him there, especially after the first fight went. Time's gone on. I think he's going to be fighting. I think he's going to get a fight like a man possessed, because he wrongly, was on the wrong end of a decision last time. Sorry. But great fight, another great fight.
And of course, keep an eye on the cruiserweights in Manchester, because it's the
if it's anything like the lightweights one, which I was lucky to be working on. What a setup! What a tournament that was, and I think it's got the right format, as in like the very novice professionals, or when I say novice, I don't mean that in any way disrespectful, but who've not had many fights, and they're very hungry, and some of them are still a bit raw, and it's guaranteed excitement.
Well, that's all from the Rotunda in Liverpool for now, but of course next week we're going to have a big preview. Joshua Buatsi and Craig Richards is a fantastic fight to look forward to. A brilliant South London domestic clash, and Richards' stock has gone through the roof since pushing Bivol all the way in Manchester just not so long ago. But Buatsi is, as again, great hopes for him. He's been training with Virgil Hunter, so that's one we're going to have a good look at next week. We'll be in London, and we're also going to be in Bilbao. JJ, that we've been speaking to, has got that great opportunity, but we are going to send a special report from over there, and we're going to catch up with James Moorcroft, your fighter, Rhiannon Dixon, and other of your fighters as well. So we're getting a bit exotic here on the Lightweight Boxing Show.
Yeah, we're being spoilt. Bilbao, the Basque region. We'll be there next week.
But I know after your lovely excursion to Anfield, you just can't wait to get out of here now, because you fear for absolutely too many trophies and titles.
I'd rather not talk about it, but yeah, hopefully the wheels come off well and truly this weekend. Final one.
Go on. Well done with your recent tipping, because Maverick Stars are going to benefit. I think it's a 4-figure sum that you've made for them.
Yes.
So we're going to leave it this week, but we're going to come back with a special one in terms of you're going to just get your head around the forthcoming fights and see if you can go on another roll.
I'm going to look to add to it,
Very, very good action there. So Maverick Stars are going to benefit. A fantastic charity that provides disadvantaged kids with loads of opportunities through the sport of boxing. So that's it from Liverpool. Next stop, London and Bilbao. We better leg it now, Ant. And I mean we've got to leg it.
Let's get up north.
Cheerio.